Well, here it is. Guess I have to turn that around a little bit. Yeah. There it is. Just got back from Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And I am part of the Mothman search team. Gotta keep that fucker quiet. He keeps telling people what's about to happen. Oh. Made it back. Didn't have an actual face-to-face with the Mothman, but he was right there in the shrubs. I got it in the video from the other night. Yesterday morning or something, I put it out. It's the Mothman. Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Don't forget Gallipolis, or Gallipolis, or Gallipolis, however they say it. The guy in the bar didn't even know how to pronounce it. He tried 2 different ways, said, I don't know. He lives there. Over on the Ohio side of the river, Gallipolis. And we had an experience with him. And the thing is, you know, talked to 2 people. The one guy in the museum, Steve, he's like, I said, I've seen him. And he's like, I said, we had an experience. I've seen him before. The only reason we ended up in Point Pleasant, West Virginia for the Mothman was because Victoria saw something and said, that's your guy from Olney, Illinois. The time that I was riding through on a motorcycle, 4:30 in the morning. I will tell you, I've been riding for 27 hours. That doesn't mean that I'm mentally defective. It means that you're reaching the place between the fabrics of space and time. And those things they can do whatever the fuck they want at that point. You see it and you go, oh, so that's what's really happening. This guy is standing on the side of the fucking road, looking at me, watching me, and I'm looking, I'm darker in the shadow, I say, that fucker, what the hell is he doing out here? Thought it was a guy with a backpack standing there at 4:30 in the morning on the edge of a fucking state highway through southeastern Illinois, coming between Effingham and Olney, closer to Olney at this point, I figure. And and then he's over by the fucking funeral home as I pull into Olney, and I'm, I see, that's not a backpack. Those are fucking wings. I could see him from the side. He's standing there looking at me and watching. They're fucking wings going all the way to the fucking ground. So, she says, that's your guy. And I said, well, maybe a transmogrification of him. Those are Steve's words, and I understand what he's talking about because differing aspects of things. And so we go to Point Pleasant. Look, got a fucking can cooler out of the goddamn thing because I am part of the Mothman search team. Not only did I see him once, but I went to where he's known to have been before, and I found him. So there's that. Mothman showed up like November 15th, 1966, before I was ever born. And he was like, he scared fucking a young couple, 2 young couples together. They were going fucking around in the Bel Air. First, when I said they were doing 120 miles an hour, I'm like, in 1966. But then I find out he was showing off his 57 Chevy Bel Air, and I'm like, that fucker's got a V8. That'll do 120 down a fucking dirt road with something fucking coming after you. They were going out to have a fucking swinging incident, and they saw this guy standing on the side of the road. That's his fucking MO. That's the Mothman's operandum. That's his mode. He stands on the side of the road and just looks at you. Tries to scare the fuck out of you. But you can see in the video that I put out yesterday morning, I went back and I kicked at the fucking bushes. I'm like, come on, motherfucker. You know, it's time we talk. And in that video, geez, I should be doing a reaction video to my video. In that video, there Victoria's got the camera, and she's like, I see her backing off. She's backing off, and you hear, she's hearing this shit. I heard the thing in the fucking shrubs where I broke something where it fucking lived. It was behind our hotel. I said, we got to get a video by these fucking shrubs, you know. I'll just walk along and I'll act like something's going on. And all of a sudden, I fucking broke this thing. She heard it. And it was like, it was not happy with me being there. And I started talking about H.P. Lovecraft in the southeast of all these fucking places, how southeast is evil, and southeast Illinois is only, and southeast of fucking Ohio is Gallipolis, right across the fucking border from Point Pleasant. So we're in that fucking evil place too. As soon as I brought up H.P. Lovecraft and started saying it, all of a sudden it went, and you can hear it in the video. This is the wonderful thing. We don't have magnificent cameras. We're just fucking around. You can hear this thing, and all through the video there it's going, but this, what I personally heard myself, which Victoria was hearing the rest of it the whole time because it was right up by her. It was pushing her back. And I saw her going back, and I'm like, this is perfect video. But what I heard, it went, and I said, what the fuck is that? You know, and that goes, and I could see the image like Daredevil sees, you know, with his hearing and his echo, whatever the hell, bat shit, crazy stuff. I could see where the sound was, and it was like, it was right up here, 6 feet, and it was like, it just fluffed, and I considered, they always talk about the Mothman like he's a sleek thing, but I said, if he's a moth, he's got little things like a butterfly does, little fucking delicate things that flow over, and he fluffed his feathers, whatever you call them. You can hear it in the video. And I said, what the fuck? But I wouldn't run. I'm like, geez, I need to talk to this fucker. And then in the video, you can see little fluffs coming down. But the thing is, nothing flew out of those bushes. Nothing moved. You can see in the video, even when it does it, nothing moves. It's just standing there. And I went back the next morning and I looked, and there's a place where somebody that was about 6 feet could kind of fucking squat down and stand there and wait for somebody or be. And that's what he did. He beed. He was being. He was there. And so it's like, holy fuck, we had this experience. And it's like, you know, first night there, couldn't even find a fucking bar without having to drive. That's a bad sign. But then we went to the fucking museum next day, and we went around town. We saw Chief Cornstalk's death, where there was a field of blood a field of blood where we were standing as we were reading, and it's like they might have put this on a sign outside before we walked across the fight between civilians and savagery. So then comes the fucking Mothman. He screws with people. He's like, ah. And as it turns out from the video that we had, she was hearing this the whole time, like right here. And you hear it in the video. I didn't hear it because I was over there with my fucking, but it's like space and time. He was both places and he's pushing her back saying, get the fuck out of here. But I wouldn't leave. And finally he gave up. He said, I'll shut the fuck up and I'll go away. See, that's the secret. That's the secret. Beating somebody up for saying something is never going to do you any good. You need to find a different way to shut them up. And so we were having our own experiences. And what that did was made me part of the Mothman search team. But it's more than that. It's more like research because they place him first showing himself on November 15th, and then sightings started coming. There were UFOs all over the place, and the TNT Planet McClintock Wildlife Reserve is out there. And we went out there yesterday, and it was just fucking hideous. There are these odd hillocks out there. There's some kind of goddamn vine that grows over, and it looks like it's broken off trees' tops because of the weight that it carries. You're looking at 2-inch diameter from what I saw. And it's just like anything could be in there. And I looked and there was a camouflage quad runner over there. And I looked and there was some kind of fucking footprint over here. Just like they said in the fucking museum. Ah! And it was fresh and I was like, ah! This thing's fucking following me. It wants to talk to me. So people are worried about this. Weird shit. People get sick and die after he shows up. Well, maybe you shouldn't drink so much. But then they talk about being in town after that time. And they're men in black. They're all in black. And they're very clean shaven. And they're telling people that witnessed things that they had never, that the witnesses had never told anybody. And these fuckers, they said they never blinked when they talked. And there are pictures of them just standing there. And where did these fuckers come from? Why are they so concerned about the Mothman? It's because he's one of them, and he got one of their flying suits. And now he can't get out of it because he's worn it far too long. His fucking alien skin has grown into it. It's from another plane, not another planet. There, that's H.P. Lovecraft shit. But so, I show up walking around looking like one of these fucking men in black. And they were the ones that were seen under the bridge a couple days before, even when somebody spotted the Mothman coming around saying, there's a fucking problem, there's a fucking problem. Nobody ever understood him because of... if your brain is too small to receive big fucking messages, it's just gonna go. Nobody knew what the fuck he was trying to tell them. That's what I say. But the men in their low-level loafers and their pristine clothing and their fucking hats, they were spotted under the bridge like in a couple days before. December 15th, 1967. Exactly to the date, 13 months after the first Mothman sighting. And these fuckers are walking around trying to get them to shut the fuck up. And they're around, and then I am there. I was like, fuck. Oh, is it time for the Mothman to come through and give prophecies again about the shit that's gonna happen? Never can tell. What I do know is that I got this shirt. Mothman. Point Pleasant, West Virginia. And he's like, See, I never saw him fly. He was just standing there like that. And I went by and I was looking at him and he's looking at me. He watched me. A shadow darker than night. Yet I could see the features. I could see them. These features on the faces that looked at me. Never saw the big red eyes that they talk about, but evidently he knew that I could see him. There was no reason to try to get my attention. And so, got this shirt. And on the back, it's a world tour, 1966 to 67, I believe. And the thing is, when I talked about that guy in Illinois, the one that I saw in Olney, that guy that was the museum guide, very good museum, very good museum. I saw this article at the bottom of one of the pages that they had from like the time of these sightings. It was like, it was all over the world, this fucking reporting. Down at the bottom, I always look at the bottom to see what else is on that front page. And it was talking about Ted Kenny and Chataquidich, or whatever the fuck it is, how he left the scene of a crime. Senator Edward, maybe T. Kennedy, known as Ted, how he left the scene of an accident, and there was a girl that was dead because of it. And he apparently wasn't too badly damaged because he got away. This is the article on the front page of the paper. I'm like, Jesus, there's so much good shit in here. You always have to look at the rest of the paper. There might be a coupon. I'm talking about this stuff to this guy in the museum, and he's like, he said, I've never seen any of this stuff. This is what he said. I talked to him about Carlin, Nevada, that tree out by the Hastings cutoff. I don't think anybody knows about that but me in the last fucking lifetime. Been there twice. Maybe that'll be the next trip. I find Victoria makes things easier for me to get by with. Like, people don't seem so ready to beat me up if it seems like somebody's with me, like I might be okay. Usually when I'm alone, they can't figure out who the fuck could possibly stand another minute with me, because they've already spent about 15 minutes to me, listening to me, not getting to the point. But so, thing is, this guy says he's seen nothing. He enjoys hearing stories from others about the things they have seen. And so I told him about Illinois. And so look, we got a concert shirt. We got a concert shirt there at the museum, the Mothman Museum, the a world's only Mothman museum. I'm about to open one up in Olney, Illinois, because I told him about that guy, and he's like, well, he says they transmogrify. He says they're everywhere. He says they're spotted all over the place. Actually, tomorrow, on my actual birth date, there's an anniversary of one in Mason, West Virginia, but we'll have to hear about that on the news. So it's a concert shirt. Where he was, 66 to 67. But there are some dates missing because they mentioned how there was a Mothman sighting type of thing at Chernobyl in 1986. So I didn't get to the Ukraine until 1998, spring break 98. So it's got nothing to do with me. But that should be on there, 86. And then down here at the bottom, the one it does have with me, World Tour. You know, they took a couple breaks in there, but there should be Olney, O-L-N-E-Y, Olney, Illinois, 2001. It's a good shirt. You should get one. You can probably buy it online. The thing that I'm concerned about is people are going to forget that the Mothman ever was, and the Mothman might be the guy that's in the other planes that's directing the minds of the knuckle fuckers we've got in charge. Mothman might be one of those people, but he's trying to say, cut it out, because the fucking bridge collapsed and everybody died with Christmas presents floating in the river.